Hello, ASMR Helpline. My name is Kia. I'm here to help you. What seems to be your problem today? Seem a little bit depressed and out of sorts? But yes, I can definitely help you with that. Have you been with us before? You have? Great. Can you please spell your first name? And your last name? Okay, and your phone number, please. Okay, I see your file right here. So we offer numerous options, as you know. So please select from the following. We have our regular experiences, which include whispers, spa experience, relaxing sounds, book reading, and our specials include a Halloween edition and a Thanksgiving edition, and we have a locked option that is still unavailable. Which one would you be interested in today? You'd like to hear about the Halloween edition? Yes, let me pull that up. So the Halloween edition is a scary experience walkthrough called The Haunted House, and it describes a scary story from the narrator's point of view. It's supposed to cause chills and be spooky and eerie. Are you interested in that option today? Great. I'll go ahead and document your selection and transfer you to the correct department momentarily. Thank you again for choosing ASMR Helpline, and I hope you enjoy your experience. Thank you and have a great day. You've been transferred to the limited edition Halloween special called The Haunted House. I'm here to narrate this scary experience walkthrough for you. Years ago, where I grew up, there was an old house that had been abandoned by its family for many, many years. The house had been in the family for generations, at least a century, and the family had had its own cemetery plot next to the house. It had once been a grand house, full of elegance and beauty, with beautiful carved woodwork, as many ornate details as possible, and everything, including the wraparound porch, had been designed to showcase the elegance of it. The house showed the stature and importance of the family. Back in its day, it was considered almost a mansion. In its style and grace, it was the showstopper of the town. The house had meant to be taken care of. It was created to be the most beautiful house in the county, and it was for time. And after the family had left, the house had been left to be condemned by time and the natural elements. Ever since its abandonment, the town had always regarded the house as a place not to be entered. It was rumored that the house was haunted and that there were ghosts inside due to some horrific event that happened within the family. It was never known why the family left. It's just that they suddenly disappeared from the property and moved away. So there the house stood in the town, and every year as it passed, the house became more and more eerie. The trees that had once been beautiful had now completely overtaken the house. It was completely in shadow, and boards had been nailed up to cover the windows from passers-by who decided to throw rocks or stones at them. And local resident children would dare their classmates to prove that they were brave by going inside the house, but very few, if any, ever did, except for me. When I was in my mid-teens and was dared to test my bravery by entering the house, I took the opportunity and readily agreed. My job was to enter the house, to see if it was haunted, and to bring back a proof of evidence of my visit. So one Friday evening, after my parents were going to be gone for a few hours, I decided to take the trip up to the house. The house was in the country, not far from my house, about a 10-minute walk. So I decided to walk to the house. I could see that the clouds were starting to roll in as it was getting darker in the evening, and that soon it would start to rain. As I approached the front of the house, I saw the cemetery plot out to the left of the house. Its headstones were all worn, and many of the words were so faded by weather and time that you could not even read the names and dates. It just felt wrong to be here, and it seemed as if the headstones were facing me, but that's just a trick of my mind. I needed to proceed, and I needed to get inside and bring back proof of my visit. So I slowly climbed the stairs, and they creaked with every step I took. I could hear dogs barking in the distance, almost as if warning me that I was not supposed to be here. But I had to go in. I had no choice. So I slowly approached the large wooden door that was gray and cracked from time. Boards had been nailed to cover most of it, but you could still see the beautiful stained glass from between the boards. So I reached for the handle of the front door and opened it. I entered the haunted house and shut the door behind me. Suddenly I realized how quiet it was, and I looked around and could see the evidence of time, a thick layer of dust on the floor. You could see that the furniture was early 1900s and was once beautiful and elegant, but the colors were so faded and it was completely unusable now. So I started looking around, and I found myself in the kitchen. There was an old kitchen stove. It's big and bulky. It would have been used to fix all the family meals. It is ancient. Then I looked and I saw pots and pans strung about the room in a haphazard-like way. Not sure why they were like this, but there was nothing I could use here to prove that I was in this house. So I kept looking. So then I climbed the steps and went to the second floor. When I reached the landing, I could see the elegant hallway, the beautifully carved banister. I found my way to some more rooms. I found a child's room with a crib that had fallen down. You could lightly see the paint on the wall. It's a light yellow color. I then found a lavatory. And then I also found the master bedroom. And you could tell it was meant to be beautiful. And it had a large bed with a beautifully carved wooden frame. I saw that the bedspread was still on top and there was a thick layer of dust. So I went to inspect the color of the bedspread. I could see something on there. What was this? It was dark red blots of color ran across the entire comforter. Was this blood? I looked on the floor, wiped away the dust with my foot. I still see spots of blood strung about. What could have possibly caused this much blood? Did someone get hurt? Was someone murdered here? But there was no other evidence in the room. Nothing to explain what I saw. After exploring the other rooms on the second floor, I decided to try the attic. When I pushed open the door, I could see that the room was filled with old family heirlooms, beautiful paintings that had now been warped, large furniture pieces, and numerous other old family heirlooms. Why would a family have left everything and not taken it with them? Surely they would have known that these would have been worth something to them. These old family heirlooms would have been priceless if they had not been destroyed by the elements. But now it was too late for them, like it was too late for this house. Everything had been left, everything abandoned. What good could it have been to show family heirloom as a proof that I had been here? I had no choice but to check out my least anticipated room in the entire house, the basement. The door was very hard to open. I had to pull with all my might to yank it open. And the first thing that reached my senses was the smell of mold. As I walked down the stairs, I could see that the windows had been broken, and there were some skeletons of some dead birds and rats that had made their way inside. I did not want to stay in this room for long, but there had to be something. There just had to be something I could show as proof that I was here in this house. Something to make people believe me. I saw a whole bunch of boxes, and so I started to sift through them. I found old clothes that had been destroyed by mold, but then I found an old photo album. I opened it and started looking through the pictures. I saw a picture of the family that had lived here, the first family, the ones who had built the place. Even though the photo was in black and white, you could see that the house was brand new and extremely elegant. There was no cemetery plot, and all the trees were gone. The family, though not smiling, looked content and happy. It was a strange sight to see compared to what the house looked like now. But this was it. this was my proof. So then I put the picture in my pocket and then went to turn towards the stairs, but I noticed a big wardrobe in the corner of the room. I went towards it. It reached from floor to ceiling. It was big and bulky and had been handcrafted. I reached for the knob and tried to open it, but it was locked. I felt like there was something inside here, something that may explain what I saw upstairs, the drops of blood, maybe which explained why the family left. And I tried to open it again and pulled with all my might. And just as the door budged, I heard something behind me. I turned around, but there was nothing. I could have sworn I heard something back there. Then I opened the door. I saw a box on the top shelf. The whole thing was empty except for one box. And when I reached for it, I heard the noise again. So I turned around quickly, and then I saw it. I saw a shadow move across the room. I yelped and jumped back. There was something in this room with me. Something that did not want me to look inside that box. I knew I had to get out of here quickly. So I tried to stay against the wall and crept closer to the stairs, away from the shadow in the corner. And then suddenly made a break for it and darted as fast as I could. I saw the shadow move and was following me. I ran to the top of the stairs and quickly shut the door as hard as I could, hoping to jam it. I started running, but it was so dark now with the clouds. I started running throughout the house, trying to make my way towards the exit, but it was so dark that I couldn't find my way, and suddenly I ended up in another room. I suddenly realized this was the parlor, the entertainment room for guests. And I just tried to quiet my breathing, tried not to make any noise so that they wouldn't hear me, whoever this was, or whatever this was. I could hear them walking up and down the hallway on the wooden floorboards looking for me. I breathed a sigh of relief as I could hear them walking the opposite way down the hallway. And I slowly crept out of the room, and I found my way towards the front door. I opened that door and ran as fast as I could, sprinting down towards my house. I didn't stop until I reached my front step. I could have sworn, though, when I was leaving that house, that I heard someone shout, "Stay away." I cannot tell you whether the house was truly haunted, or whether there was someone living there, but I do know that whatever was there did not want me there, and did not want me to find out what was in that box. I do honestly feel that someone was killed, the amount of blood that I saw upstairs in the master bedroom. And I know that there is a mystery there that is yet uncovered, but I am not willing to go back and find out. That is why I warn you, my friends. Do not go to any house someone deems to be haunted, because you never know if you will be as lucky as I was to leave and escape. You just might not come back. So good night, and stay safe.